Tonight, momentum is building in the fight to build a fence along our entire border with Mexico. Congressman Duncan Hunter, the powerful chairman of the Armed Services Committee, introduced that legislation. It calls for parallel fencing along the 2,000-mile border, and Congressman Hunter has now 25 co-sponsors. Right now, only 75 miles of the border has any fencing whatsoever. The border fence can't come too soon. Just today, 125 illegal aliens were discovered working at a construction site in Pennsylvania. They were building a distribution center for Walmart. Hollywood's latest take on our broken border crisis is causing considerable outrage. An episode of NBC's Law and Order last night portrayed a group based on the Minutemen volunteers who patrol our borders. They portrayed them as murderers. Casey Wyan has the report.
Wednesday's episode of Law and Order borrowed from many real-life stories of the nation's immigration crisis. It's a whodunit about the murder of a trucking company owner who's also an illegal alien smuggler.
How much did he charge?
$2,000 a head.
One load of aliens dies in a truck's trailer.
I think at some point this trailer overheated and the people inside, the cargo were literally cooked.
2 years ago in Texas, that really happened. So did these things, more or less.
The governor of California came out in support of Border Patrol.
Border Patrol pulls a body a day out of the Sonora Desert.
There's only so much ICE can do to stem this flood of illegals.
NBC even portrays the debate about what to call illegal aliens.
I guess undocumented workers.
I think she's afraid because she's undocumented.
Who else knew about the dead illegals?
You know what percentage of federal prisoners are illegal immigrants?
But the main plot of the show, involving members of a civilian border watch group called the Countrymen, is an outright fabrication.
Guilty.
The story convicts one so-called countryman of murder and another of sabotaging the truck so the illegal aliens die.
Our record speaks for itself. Not one volunteer has ever been involved in any illegal activity. And after building our reputation up, to have NBC maliciously try to tear us down and show bias, it's despicable.
Though the characters aren't called Minutemen during the show, NBC's promos and website did use the real-life group's name.
Was it murder or the Minutemen protecting our borders?
The story ends with the revelation that an illegal alien housekeeper who witnessed part of the crime is deported and separated from her children, even after testifying for the prosecution. You'd think the actor playing the DA in the case, former Senate Intelligence Committee member Fred Thompson, would know better. Simcox says he's meeting with attorneys to consider legal action against NBC. The network says in a statement that, like all episodes of Law and Order, this one was completely fictional. Lou?
And didn't they used to brag that their stories were ripped from the headlines?
Parts of it were ripped from the headlines, but the major premise of it was completely false.
Completely false, and unfortunately destructive of what is becoming a healthy debate, stripped of the bias that is typically Hollywood in terms of open discourse on issues that are in the national interest and can't be framed as either liberal or conservative. Casey Wyan, thank you very much. Okay. Former FBI Director Louis Freeh is coming down hard on the 9/11 Commission over its refusal to investigate Able Danger. In an op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal today, Freeh said claims made by Able Danger could be the most important disclosure in the 9/11 inquiry. In fact, saying the 9/11 Commission's work will be incomplete until it investigates those claims. Freeh says, quote, the 9/11 Commission inexplicably concluded that it was not historically significant. This astounding conclusion, in combination with the failure to investigate Able Danger and incorporate it into its findings, raises serious challenges to the Commission's credibility, and if the facts prove out, might just render the Commission historically insignificant itself. The Able Danger U.S. Army Intelligence Unit claims to have identified 9/11 mastermind Mohammed Atta and other 9/11 radical Islamist terrorists more than a year before 9/11. Able Danger officials say they were not allowed to share that information with agencies that could have prevented the terrorist attack, leading to one of the worst intelligence failures in the country's history and, of course, great tragedy. Congressman Curt Weldon demanding those officials be allowed to testify before Congress. Now more than half of the House of Representatives, 235 members, have agreed with Congressman Weldon and have signed on to a letter to Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. You can read this letter on our website, LouDobbs.com. We'd like to know also what you think about our poll question tonight. The question is, should the U.S. Congress demand an immediate investigation of Able Danger? Yes or no? Please cast your vote at LouDobbs.com. We'll have the results coming up here later. Tonight, a reporter from the Washington Post is being held